What's up, what's up? Y'all already know what time it is. We back with another one. Big bro, we out here, we living it, bringing it to y'all exactly how we see it. So check this out. We back with top female narcos of all times. Today we got La China. She was ruthless. She was ruthless. She was responsible for 178 deaths. You know what I'm saying? She ran under a guy named El Grande. He was the boss of the La Fuenza cartel, the Maso cartel, cops, kidnapping, dismemberments. She was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Her boyfriend, El Chino, he ran with the same cartel. They just ran around creating mayhem. Yo, you already know what it is, man. We bringing it to you. This is what we doing. You already know, man. Top females all time, part 3. Melissa Ojeda, top female narcos of all times. Let's go.
This is Melissa Margarita Calderon Ojeda, aka La China. She was the commander of a cartel army that was so violent, it shocked her soldiers, her male colleagues, and her boyfriends. Sometimes, looks can be really deceiving. Melissa Ojeda was born on August 12, 1984, in Mexico. By the time she was 20, she had already decided her fate. She was going to be a cartel leader, and she was going to do whatever she needed to get there. Melissa joined the Sinaloa cartel back in 2005, more precisely, the Damaso cartel, a subdivision of the Sinaloa. She was ruthless and ambitious, and she didn't care that most of the criminals around her were men. She could be just as aggressive, and when it came in handy, she also used her feminine charm as a way to climb up the ranks. By 2008, La China was commander of the armed unit, and while she was commander, the rate of crime in the area went up several times. She had a thirst for blood that was shocking even to the violent criminals in her gang. She would kill cops, kidnap people for extortion, and dismember enemies from rival gangs. Imagine that. La China and her unit were responsible for at least 178 deaths. Whenever her men would have a successful mission, leaving bodies behind, that is, she would reward them with big bags of white powder. But in 2014, things took a turn for the worse when the Damaso cartel leader El Grande killed Melissa's boyfriend, Eric. This hit was meant as a message to Melissa. Her time as army commander was over. You might be excused for thinking that this was the cold shower she needed. Perhaps she thought she'd better throw away her gun and return home. But violence is the only language cartel members understand. Now, Melissa was now certain she wanted blood for blood. She rallied 300 cartel soldiers to her side and started a new cartel, Las Fuerzas, together with her brand new boyfriend, Hector Pedro Camareno Gomez. He called himself El Chino to go hand in hand with La China, but even El Chino would find his girlfriend too violent. Imagine if La China was a violent, bloodthirsty commander during peaceful war times. How was she after a waged war against Damaso? Every turf war would result in a massacre, and as the police were now on her tail, she would keep moving from town to town. One day, she sent one of her sicarios to get a new car for another journey. He arranged for a couple of vendors to deliver the car to Melissa. When they did, she killed them just to avoid paying for the car. The sicario was shocked and threatened La China to go to the police. That's when she cut off his forearms, shot him in the head, and buried him in her usual mass grave. This was her own man. El Chino saw this, and he couldn't take her violence anymore. Imagine being too violent for a cartel member. El Chino fled and ran straight to the police. Only they could give him protection against La China and her bloody cartel. And since he wanted to stay alive, he also tipped the police about Melissa's location. On September 20th, 2015, La China was arrested at the Cabo San Lucas International Airport. She was just trying to flee the state. She will spend the rest of her life in prison.